I always wanted to talk about some of the things that I've seen from you that I really enjoy and that I really like, just to understand like your process behind it, your inspirations from it. One of those things is I saw you put a series up, and I want you to go more into depth and describe what it was, but it's called The Death of Purple.
I knew that's what you're gonna say.
And it's like, dude, like when I saw that, like I didn't even, because I've seen your pictures and I've seen the images, but I didn't know what to expect. But this really, like, it stopped me in my tracks. It's like, what am I watching? Could you explain to me what that was so we can get into it?
That is the most raw artistic body of work that I will ever create. I don't think I'll ever surpass it. And genuinely, like, if I was to like take down absolutely everything, and like, let's say if I was given like a museum or a gallery, and they're like, okay, you can only put up like, one body of work, it's purple, and like it's quite I don't know what the word is, like it's quite underground, I guess, compared to the rest of my work. Like I'm known as a photographer, but it all started basically with, once again, I was taking videos, so I transitioned from vlogs to photography, but then I was also building up this collection of videography of just like, I guess you'd call it B-roll if you're being technical, but to me it was just like aesthetic things that I liked, where I didn't want it to be just a picture. There was a moment I wanted to capture in a video format, but I didn't know what the fuck to do with them. And a friend of mine, Rose, she sent me a load of voice notes, and we were just kind of discussing creativity, and she's studying law, I believe, or something along those lines. And the way she spoke, and she was so well spoken, and I was like, can I please like sample that? I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with it yet, but I will use it one day. So then I had this like beautiful spoken word piece, which was completely off the cuff, like we were just kind of sending each other voice notes, just like chatting away. And then I had videos, and I was like, how do I make this work? So I had a friend who was a producer, and I was like, okay, is there any way you can like make this kind of a track? And I basically like, I don't know music, but I explained to him how I wanted it to be sonically, and I gave him like a lot of inspiration, and some of the inspiration stems from Jane Smith, Sire. He has BLUE, so blue, and then Iris or Iris, I don't know how to pronounce it, but he has PINK. And I loved how the fact that it was like one song transitioned into each other, and like even though it's part of this bigger project, it was like the start of it was like this kind of connected being of like four different things. And for me at the time, purple, I don't know why, just purple has always just been like one of my favorite colors. And I was like, okay, I need to I'll spell out purple. Originally it was supposed to be Purple Heart, because that was like my whole thing at the time, which didn't happen because I never, like, that was the one thing where I never put pressure on it. It's like, this is going to take as long as it takes. And it was just like, it was genuinely just art in the truest form, where I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but I just threw all these things together and then made the first video. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say the second piece of inspiration was, what's it called? X's song.
Which one from his, is it an old one? From his new album or old album?
No, oh my god, it's my favorite song. I Met the Devil in Miami, and tell me it's gonna be alright.
Yes.
Because I can see there's an anime. Once again, it's like it's called Garden of Words, and someone took the song.
Yes, I think I've seen that.
The anime.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
so beautiful, and it's done so well.
Incredible, yeah, too. Yeah, but
but anyway, and for me, it was like I took all of these things and just kind of mashed them up together. So it's like I had these videos that I found very aesthetic that I took. I had this beautiful spoken word, and all I needed was music. Because to me, like, that song, it's almost like it's poetic. It's very like spoken word. He's not really singing. It's you can call it rap in a way, but it's still very much just like, it sounds like he's just telling a story or just speaking to you. And I was like, okay, I want to recreate this in my way. And that was P. And then I started, so that was, they all have teams, by the way. So P is creativity. I'm actually so excited talking about this because of how much, it's because it's like, it's so, because it's so in the past now as well. It's like I'm reliving
the moments that you created.
I created them, and just by talking about it. Anyway, so P was creativity, and then I started writing poetry myself, and I started writing just different pieces. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep this project going. I kept the videos going. You was then about love. We won't talk about that. And then or different period. Or was fear, which I told you I spent 3 different months in Chicago. So all these projects are kind of happening in the background as I'm creating. Like in the forefront, it's like I'm taking pictures, but in the background, it's like I'm actually dedicating hours and hours to these pieces and like writing pages and pages. And like that's when I started writing. So for you, it was, you know, it didn't take too long. It probably took, I think P took 1 month, you took 3 months, or took probably around 6 months because it was 3 months of footage and then 3 months of editing. But or was, I was living in Chicago. It was a difficult time because it was like my first time ever in like a proper big city. Financially, shit wasn't going the way it was going. I just took a lot of L's. It was just a very like rough time for me. And I feel like you can really feel all of that emotion in the piece. You know what I mean? It's like that, like probably one of my lowest I've ever been. But I love this. Like I don't go back and listen to it often, but when I do listen to it, I'm like, oh, fuck, that was me then. Like, you know, I can really like
you see how
take
raw
myself back
and real.
Yeah,
and I think that's sorry. Okay.
Sorry, no, and it's and then it's like it's nice because I like bounced back from it. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like I came back from it, and I'm like, I'm this person now, and like. It's kind of good to look back on times like that. And like, don't get me wrong, fucking Chicago was incredible, like America in general. Like I had a blast, but I feel like I could have enjoyed it more if I was just, I don't know, I feel like I wasn't really taking care of myself. I wasn't really like planning. I was just letting like my anxiety just take over me, just like letting fear take over me, and just a lot of mistakes, a lot of dumb shit. And basically you can kind of feel all of that. And like, I love how, aesthetically it looks as well, because once again it's like all of my art was in Ireland, and all of a sudden I'm in Chicago. Then I got my friend McLean actually wearing McLean's t-shirt. Shout out McLean.
Shout out McLean.
This is a collab with 4 magazine. But yeah, they, once again, I wrote it all and they spoke it, and like they came to my house and I was like, oh no, like say it this way. And like I was curious, and I don't know why. I think it was once again like coming back to like that kind of like shame thing where it's like I didn't want to be the voice of it. I liked the idea of like curating this project and having someone else. And to be fair, I curated each one with a voice that I thought suited, and that all came from Rose sending those voice messages and like building kind of on that. Or was, oh fuck, what was or? No, sorry, I did say or was fear. Yeah, P dot, because I couldn't do 2 P's, so I just did a little dot to like just to differentiate it because I didn't know what else to do, so I just did a little full stop. P dot was home, so that was a time when I went home back to Moldova for some time, and there was like a lot of different shit happening at the time. And once again, it was very much like a, how do I say it? It was like a kind of, I was so like upset with certain like standards and certain like so basically back home, right, Moldova is very conservative. It's very like traditional. To be successful you have to go down this route, have this job, and that's something I've always grown up with. And it's like I took all of that like anger and all of that like kind of misunderstanding and I like put it into this piece, and it's like very much like a, I guess like a fuck you to just like the kind of like standards that other people put for you. And it very much does kind of have, because like, you know, I go back home and people are like, how the fuck, what do you mean you're going to be a photographer? But you can't make money from photography. And it's just a different mindset, different culture. Like, and it's something I had to learn. It's something to grow from. And once again, it's like,
part of the process.
Now I'm like, I can be chill with those people. And I'm like, I don't care. But at the time, it like really irked me. I was like, fuck you, I'll show you, like, watch me kind of type shit. Like, and once again, that was kind of like a nice aesthetic because like, it's Moldova. It was something that people didn't really see. And I really used like the kind of clash of like poverty and like success over there, because Moldova is very corrupt. It's getting a little bit better, to be honest, but it has a very corrupt background. And I kind of use that to play on this whole idea of like kind of like following your dreams and like doing what you really love. And like, I think what was one line from it? I said, because I brought a religion into it as well, because you just see so many people who claim they're religious and then they'll just like ignore the religion. It's like you can't wear a cross and then not actually abide by it. I'm trying to think of the word. It's like I don't understand how so many people used to wear wooden crosses and had golden hearts, but now they have golden crosses and wooden hearts.
It's beautiful.
And once again, it was just one of those things where I was just sat there. I was like, fucking just writing. I was like, oh, do you know what I mean? Like, get all my emotions out. It was like a time where I was like journaling and like, you know, getting like all my shit out there. And like, it helped a lot, to be fair. But once again, it was like, okay, I put so much energy into this like, piece of paper. It's like, how the fuck do I?
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't make music. So, you know, it kind of kept going back to this like rebuilding projects. I believe I brought Rose back on for that because she did P, the first one. Yeah, let's remake it this time. She did an amazing job for the second one. And James, once again, did the production for it. And this time I was like, okay, make it like biblical and like get like, so I told him to sample like Orthodox, like Russian, like throat singing. And he was like, what the fuck, bro? And I was like, trust me. I was like, trust
the vision.
And it like, I think, or to me personally, is the most beautiful piece and the most like raw and emotionally just like personally it's like my favorite one. But I think overall P Dot is the best project because like it's just like, I don't know, the written piece, the music, the spoken word, like everything put together. I was like, this is like amazing. Do you know what I mean? Then L, I was just moved back to Cork. So I spent, I think, a summer in Moldova. Just moved back to Cork. Spontaneously moved back to Cork. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Just finished college. I'm going to try go to Cork, I guess, and try get a job with my degree and also try pursue my creative intentions. And L was... What was L? Time. L was time. So it's kind of learning about the importance of taking time towards things. Also to mention, P Dot took like, I think like 9 months or something.
This is like sequentially.
Yeah, so they basically lead one into each other. Yeah. But it's like the longer that... Yeah, basically the longer that they take, it's like, I don't know why, it's like, it's just like... More
of it, obviously. You're going through that emotion yourself,
yeah, it's
so
like
creating it. Yeah,
and I was never like forceful with it, and like I was never like, oh, I have to go find the idea. It was very much like, I'll sit with it, and when it comes, it comes. And it just started taking longer and longer each time. I think L only took like 3 or 4 months. That was about time. I got 2 different pieces to do that because I was playing on the idea of like red and blue being kind of 2 different parts of my personality. And it's like very much like compassion, love, and then the other one is like very much like determination and passion, and you know what I mean? It's so it's kind of playing on those 2, which obviously make Purple. So it's like, once again, I was playing on the whole. There's so many layers to it, like, and it's all very much like, that's why I was so excited to talk to you about this, because I don't think I've ever like actually like came out and talked about it, because like to me it's like when I see it, I see like a million different things, while someone sees it and they're like, oh, pretty videos. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but that's so much to it.
That's what makes it so cool. And I've tried not to interrupt because I really want to get it. But I think like when I saw it, I think that's what I realized too, because I think on that level. And when I see art, I know the artist, everything about his career, everything about what the artist wants you to see is from their mind. Yeah. And so when I saw the fact that you were themed it, I was like, oh, he wants us to go deeper. Like he really, like, I know that it would have taken a long time for you to get to these realizations, and you're talking about this spoken word aspect of it. I love spoken words, so I know even the words that you use and getting other people to say it, that's also a decision in itself. And I related a lot to what you were speaking about. I think that's why I really also like was drawn to it too. You mentioned you mentioned R, you mentioned P Dot, everything, all of that. That's a very similar upbringing to what I had, and like, so when I saw it and I seen you do all of these different things, and I think what I loved about it was the honesty, because I think art truly is just being honest with style. And it's like, if you can be able to like say a thing that means a lot to you, that really is the truth, but with enough style behind it, people can like appreciate it. That relatability when they're watching it and they're seeing it, because you get them to think about themselves.
Yeah.
While they're watching it, you know?
And I think it's like, to produce the best art, you do have to be 100% vulnerable. And I think that's why I love them so much, because like, you know, there's so many layers. Once again, it's like you could watch it. If you watch it only once, you're going to miss so much. But it's like, if you actually listen to it, like, holy shit, this guy is pouring his whole fucking heart out.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? It takes you a few times to actually realize, oh, he's talking about himself here. He's talking about his situation. He's actually the one writing it. A lot of people are like, oh, where did you get that? I wrote that shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, except for the first one, I wrote that shit. Like, which, you know, I take pride in, because I don't write anymore. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Go into the end of it. And then E was the death of purple, and I think that was me letting go of the idea of dying on my sword as just an artist alone. And it was also the birth of chaos, so it kind of like entangled very nicely together. Like, if you'll see on the last page there, I have that's something along the lines of, you know, the death of purple, the birth of chaos, something like that. And it's very much like a, you know, full circle moment where I'm like, this is the end of the project. Like, obviously I thought I was going to do Purple Heart at the start, but I was like, fuck that, I'm not starting a H now. It's over now. I said what I had to say.
Though. It's perfect how it ended.
There was a team for E, but see, that's the other thing about E, because it was like, I was at that point now where I was like, I was so fed up with like being the broke artist. I was so fed up of like putting so much shit out there, and like, not that people weren't seeing it, not that people were appreciating it. I've been like very grateful for all the support I've gotten from everyone around me. But it's just like, why am I not landing here? Why am I not being able to put food on my table with just this and nothing else? And it was just kind of like that frustration killed the purple, and that frustration kind of made me realize, okay, I need to learn some business here, to be honest. Like, I need to try and like actually get some commerce in behind me, and I can't do purple if I'm doing business.
Yeah, 100%.
Because my idea of... Have you ever heard Little Sim's song? And she's like, do it for the love, not more. And that is exactly what purple was. It was like, I was doing it purely because I loved it and it made me feel amazing. And like, the moment I put it out, I was like such a relief. It's like, I worked on this for like 9 months.
Absolutely.
It's out there. I couldn't give a fuck how well it does. I couldn't care less if it had 10 views or like a million views.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to be done and over with. And it's like, book closed.
Yes.
I can now move on to the next thing. So when purple was done, I was like, whew, what the fuck now? Do you know what I mean? But like, to be fair, it was very much like chaos was like starting to be in the back of my mind. So it does all kind of like topple into each other. There's not really ever a moment where I'm like sitting there and I have nothing. I've always kind of, ever since I started, like from that podcast era, constantly just different avenues of creating. And like, even the fashion show we're doing in August, I started planning that 2 weeks before the launch of the second magazine.
So it was already in your mind.
It was already in my mind, starting to like, put the pieces together. And it's, once again, like, there is like pieces of purple still inside of me, if you will. Like, there is still that kind of passion, and there still is that love for the art and love of the game. But it's just trying to direct it in a way where it could actually benefit me to the best way possible.
Long term too, because it's the death of like, also like the creative naivety almost, right? Because when you come into this, you're right, it is really kind of like a process of just letting go.
Yeah.
You create something because you feel something deeply. I think there's a thing about creatives where they have inputs which are much different from the everyone's around them. So for them to output, that's all they care about.
Yeah.
Input, output. But it gets to a stage where you output so much, you know that this is something that you can actually make into like something that's real, tangible for people to understand it. And for that, you have to balance the relationship of like, it's not just about you outputting. It's about how can I make this output a thing where people can actually benefit from it?
Yeah.
How can people can actually take something from it? How can I make it a monetary value from it? Because you know that you are a creative. This is what you do. Like you mentioned about, and you don't stop. You don't stop. You won't stop because you've now turned the tap on. This is how you express yourself. But how can you express yourself with the most intention? Almost. You know, how can you express yourself with the thing where it's like, I'm doing this so people can see a crafted art? okay, to craft it, I need a resource, I need a team behind me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of mental process. But I think that's what the reason I love that Death of Purple project, because it really is you flexing your creative muscle. It's like whatever you do next, just know I can do this.
Yeah.
I can be as creative as the next person, as like vulnerable and open.
Yeah.
And I love that, because I think that's the essence of creativity, just that kind of vulnerability. That's why I love poetry, because it's like really, it's just like me just talking to you face to face. But I can also do a thing where I sit back and I craft something for you to understand. But like, just know, I always have the Death of Purple.
Yeah,
you know, it's like just understanding that aspect of it. And that's why it was so inspiring for me to see that too, because it was like, okay, cool, there's other people out there having that same perspective and same approach to art, you know?
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, no, I think you should be super 100% proud of that.
Thank you very much.
But
I
it'll
really
work.
am.